Yo, let me know. Let me know how is the audio and let me know. Let me know how we're sounding. You know what I'm saying? We are live on Twitch, live on YouTube. Twitter, the only reason I'm not live on there is that I've been fighting for months to get this Twitter account back, my original account. Because they keep billing me for Twitter Premium. But it's like, how can I have Twitter Premium if I don't have access to the motherfucking app? So, because I don't have access to my old Twitter account, why am I going to pay another $22.99 for my my secondary account, my new Twitter account, when you guys haven't told me why my old one is suspended and why you guys keep charging me? It's like funny. It's like, hey, I can suspend you, but I can't tell you why you suspended. But I'm gonna keep charging your accounts. That's what Twitter's doing. But we are live on Twitch. We are officially live on Twitch, Rumble. I'm gonna drop my Rumble link in the chat so we can get at least like 5 people to subscribe to Rumble. Because if I get at least 5 people to subscribe to Rumble, then I can start going live on Rumble. You know, once they salute, once they what's up to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I've been gone for a minute. Pops tapping in. You know what I'm saying? I know it's been a minute. I haven't potted in like a month. I've been traveling. I'm doing a lot of traveling this year. Back and forth to the West Coast a lot. You know what I'm saying? Going back down south. I really just been taking this year to kind of just like soak all in and kind of in a way, you know, relax and just chill and just, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, enjoy my life. But I can't cap, man. I do miss potting. I do miss doing content. I do miss talking to you guys. You know, just a lot of this Diddy news, a lot of politics, a lot of regurgitated topics. But I'm not gonna lie, back in the game. We're going live today, and what we want to talk about right now, I don't want to talk about any Diddy news, and this is another reason why I kind of waited, because it's like I don't want to talk about Diddy. I don't want to talk about any SA cases in hip hop, any drugs in the baby oil. You know what I'm saying? Like we can leave that for all the other content creators. What I want to talk about was this political election, Kamala Harris, what she has going on, and the black men. I mean, I'm being honest. If I can find some round of applause, I feel like black men, black American men, or just black men who aren't just going to be told what to do and when to do it and how to do it. As far as this voting process, you got to give yourselves a round of applause. You know what I'm saying? You got to give yourself a round of applause. Salute to Oliver Branch. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit the like button, please. Hit the like, subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys are tapped in. But what I really want to address the most is, like I said before, I know it'd be a lot of scared Negroes. I know it'd be a lot of buck dancing niggas. I know it'd be a lot of, you know, just hold your head down and, you know, we're going to be all right. But I feel like this time, you know what I'm saying, black men really put their foot down and told the public that we're not just going to vote for a Democrat just because you're rolling out there as a Democratic candidate. Every other group of people, ethnicity, race, gender, creed, color, are voting for specific tangibles to their party. And when it comes to black men, we either get stereotypical tangibles or we get things that others are also going to benefit from. Thus, doesn't really help us when it comes to getting us in a higher point. If we're at the bottom and everything you give us, you give people who are already economically above us, how's this going to rise us to the level of everybody else? It does not make sense. And like Oliver Branch said, the Diddy topic is not important. I respect that. I personally feel like the Diddy topic is important, but it's more about like speculation. And at the end of the day, the people that, you know, the Gene Deals, the academics, the people who cover that story are covering it to a T. It's nothing I can really add on besides the fact that when people were dropping Satanism and hip hop documentaries in 2009, 2010, showing you Jay-Z holding up the rock and that it was Satanism in the music industry, and all these famous people are doing very explicit things to get to where they are, people were called conspiracy theorists. And now to see that everything that people were saying about 14, 15 years ago are kind of coming to pass, and the people who are called conspiracy theorists are now being leading the forefront in the information of things that people already knew. These things just weren't being legally verified by indictments, court cases, everything that's happened to Diddy, things that happened to R. Kelly, things that happened to Weinstein. So when it comes to that, I think, like I said, it is important. But the content that I kind of wanted to do for the fourth quarter, and I kind of wanted to wait until the tail end of the election around this time in order to kind of have a full scope of what's going on, right? So like I said, this Perspective Facts Podcast, episode 118. It's your boy, Florida Boy Jay. What we're going to talk about is, have Black men shifted the Democratic agenda? They rolled out Barack Obama a few days ago. He came out of nowhere. I haven't seen Barack Obama speak to Black men in a long time. So it's just very funny how Barack Obama comes out a month before the election to basically wag his finger and tell niggas that y'all slipping and y'all need to get your ass to the polls and vote, because if you don't like women, or you're not educated or something. I don't know where he was going with it, but I want to say that Barack Obama has played in the faces of Black America for over 20 years, and to finally see backlash, and not just from, the grassroots media, not just from what people like to dismiss as the Hotep group or the woke group, but just as a collective, Black people from all sides of the game turn around and tell Obama, like, hey, like, it ain't hitting like it used to. Like, what you saying don't mean nothing. A lot of us have woke up. A lot of us have lived in the results of your lack of producing for Black Americans. And like I said, we're living in the post-Obama era. So the longer you go post-2008, the more we're actually looking at his presidency for what it is, and seeing the lack of action that he had to economically advance Black people in America, just to come back and never really give us any tangibles, only to wag his finger when it's time to vote. And on top of that, try to make us empathize with somebody saying that she's came from our communities. She knows our struggle and this and that. And that's not the point. That's not the point. The point isn't if somebody came from our household, if somebody understands my struggle, if we listen to the same music. If you're not passing tangible policies for me or the people that represent me and have our best interests at heart, I'm not just going to give you a blind vote or a blind pass because you are Black. I have to hear the things that you are going to do for my community before I give you a vote because of the color of your skin. Because if that's the case, if a white person says they're going to do something because somebody is white, we want to automatically cause racism. So we can't just say, oh, we're going to vote for this person because they're Black. Even if we want to say that, and even if that's justified, that is fine. But they're even questioning Kamala Harris's Blackness. You know what I'm saying? So that whole, well, I'm going to vote because she's Black. If we can't even give her a certified Black card, we can't, like I said, if we don't even resonate with Obama saying that she comes from where we come from, she knows our struggles, and she didn't have a Black mom, she didn't have a Black grandma, she didn't have any Black aunties. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. I mean, do you know what a hot cone smells like? Like, did you wake up Saturday morning with the Isley Brothers and Anita Baker playing because you got to clean the house? You know what I'm saying? If you don't clean the house, you don't get your ass up, you don't get breakfast. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain Black experiences. Even if you live through it, still does not give you a blind pass that you have the best interest for Black people as a collective. Just because all that Black faces in high places, and I'm rooting for everybody, Black propaganda is exactly why we are where we are now. We can't differentiate between a Black American and a Jamaican, Irish, Indian lady, because you just want to vote for everybody whose skin color is close enough to ours that we want to identify with, and that's where we lose the race every time. So for the fact that we had a staunch hope to the gravy train that they were trying to pull with Kamala Harris, I think we should be commended for that. In tonight's episode, we're going to go into certain videos and audio. We're going to go into detail on how this thing has transpired and where we're going from here as Black Americans, and pretty much where would we go post-election. Before we get post-election, we're going to watch what Barack Obama said. I'm going to play a few videos of Barack Obama talking to us in previous times during his administration where it was very grotesque in the broader picture, right? But we're going to start with a little bit of what he said yesterday. I just want everybody to hit the like button, hit the chat. You know what I'm saying? Support the channel. We are back from vacation. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go ahead and add this right here. And this is Barack Obama talking to a few good niggas the other day.
We have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
Congressman, your thoughts?
So like I said earlier on this, I don't care what Barack Obama says, to be honest with you. The Kamala Harris problem is very simple. She was riding shotgun with Joe Biden, leading America into crisis after crisis, terrible policy, massive inflation, wide open borders, and a foreign policy that's been a disaster. And now you got Barack Obama and the other Democrat surrogates out here saying that black men in particular need to just show up and vote for her just because she's a black woman. No. Details matter. Policy matters. Vision matters. And what we've seen from Kamala Harris is that she's been a part of a very destructive administration to the lives of the American people. And she's not demonstrated any ability to be a leader on the world stage that people will choose to follow. So the fact that she's losing this campaign is because she's a bad candidate and she has no vision for the future of the country. She's got $1 billion that she's raised. She has all of media, all of Hollywood behind her. They've scripted everything for her. It's almost like she's a Hollywood actress and she's losing. That tells me everything I need to know. And so just saying that, oh, black men need to show up, give me a break. Actually have an agenda that works for people, then maybe black men will show up.
So I'm going to pause it from that standpoint, and I'm just going to speak a little bit to what he was saying was that same thing I'm saying. If I'm sitting here watching your presidency objectively as an American, I'm not too hot about you pretty much coming with the Joe Biden cabinet part 2, seeing how the country just ran the last 4 years. And then you don't really have a personality of yourself. You have all the Democratic funding. You have the House. You got the Senate. We don't have anything passed. We're sending money overseas. Our borders are being flooded. These are just objective things that are happening. Inflation, housing crisis. These are just objective things that, regardless of your political party, are happening to you. So for anybody, black, white, red, green, yellow, or blue, to just blindly vote for a certain party with these things, like when Trump, if Trump was fucking up in 2020, niggas would be saying the same thing. If you are objectively not doing your job, I think it's time that we ask you certain questions or not just blindly put you in place because you already been in place. And you know what I'm saying? So, I just want to play that just to show you that it is certain black politicians and black people. I'm not a Republican. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a Democrat either. But for him to sit up here and say what he just said leads credence to what I'm saying, is that it's not just just going to show up and vote because you're black. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. You know what I'm saying? So we got some more footage that we're going to go ahead and show you. This is Barack Obama. I'm going to show you this. This is him after the shooting in Charleston in South Carolina, right? When we were looking for Barack Obama to really, put, stick up for black Americans, you know what I'm saying? Put his foot in their ass, you know what I'm saying? Really, to let people know we ain't having it, he ain't having it type of energy. And this is what we got right here. This is what ain't gonna fly now. But I just want to show you guys how far we've came to the fact that Obama couldn't even resonate in a room, in a room that was pretty much a setup, which was a layup for him to scold us nationally. But for the fact that he's come so far from what I'm about to show you. And this is when I walked away from the old niggas in the black community right here. This is when I walked away from the civil rights niggas, the old niggas, the shut up and vote niggas that I'm just voting so I can get my my Medicaid lowered ass niggas. I already got all my things together and I'm not going to do anything for anybody because all I wanted was sexual access. And we talk about getting our asses whooped on Edmund Pettus Bridge because John Lewis, you know what I'm saying? We got to celebrate getting our asses whooped. We get shot. We got to bend down and pray. We got to get our asses whooped. This is the type of shit I'm talking about. You're going to see niggas sitting here with chains down to their goddamn kneecaps. But motherfuckers got gunned down in Charleston, and this is what this whole ass nigga Barack Obama did.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
I'm gonna pause this. Niggas got murdered in cold blood. Niggas got gunned down like animals, right? Let's just keep it a buck. That's what happened in Charleston. Niggas got gunned down like animals. Some of these people's families are in this church. Some of these old ass, dusty ass niggas kowtowing, him hawing, and bootlicking for butter biscuits sitting right up behind you. The same niggas that done sold you out every time there's an election and a white politician comes through talking jive, getting your vote. The same niggas that when Joe Biden rolled out that 94 crime bill, they went ahead and pushed it through and backed it. The same niggas that told niggas after the Rodney King beating that we need to shut up and pray. These are the same niggas that tell you that we were fighting to get equal treatment when we were just fighting to get sexual access and to eat seasonless food. These are the same niggas right here that seen their own community get gunned down and let this whole ass tether walk in there and sat up there and sung a goddamn hymn. Sung a goddamn hymn. Let's play the rest of this bullshit. And you see how he had to sit there. What was he doing? Reading the lyrics the first 15 seconds? Goof ass.
I
Yo, why is he hitting the Parkinson's? Why is he hitting the Ali? Hold on. Why is he hitting the Ali? Why is he singing, doing all this shit? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, what in God's name is this? Like, on some real, like, what is this? This is that Kamala Harris. And she was like, you better thank a black, you better thank a union member. You better thank a union member. Like, who are these people? Who are these niggas? Who are these niggas? And you got these old niggas that's trying to talk. I don't want to talk to no old niggas because this is the type of shit y'all allow to this day.
Clementa Picnic found that grace. Cynthia Hurd found that grace. Susie Jackson found.
That's my issue. Like, you naming all people talking about found that grace when these people were taken down in cold blood. I just don't understand this nigga Barack Obama and how much black people looked at him as, especially when the Trayvon Martin thing happened, when it was like, okay, something has happened. This is why we elected you. This is why we invited you to these dinners. This is why grandma has you on her wall. This is why Unc has like an Obama shirt, like a Kobe Championship Laker 2002 shirt, like with the Yes We Can. This is why I voted back in 2012, first time voter. When things like this happen in Black America, we thought you would be the one that would be at the forefront of not being like the next Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, but actually not letting these grotesque atrocities happen. And then when it's time for you to speak for us, you sit up here and start shaking like a stripper, singing Amazing Grace like a beat down Mississippi slave. I want you guys to hit the like button, hit the share. I know this isn't, we're not ha-ha and we're not joking, but we're adults here. This is not joking matter. You know what I'm saying? We're not sitting here blaming the white man, the white man, that. We're not blaming the white man, but the white man. This is not the conversation. We're having a conversation about how far Barack Obama has dropped and how we as a black community, as black men, as the grassroots, as objective thinking niggas have decided as one that we're not just going to give our vote blindly. I'm going to read some of the comments. Salute the Black and Bane. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen a minute. So I see you in the comments right now. You're definitely cooking in here, man. Yeah, nah, for sure. Like I said, everybody hit the like button, subscribe. This nigga Barack Obama, and this is another one of Barack Obama in Flint. This is him in Flint. I wanted you guys to see this too, because you remember the Flint water crisis that is still going on today. Salute to little Miss Flint out there in Michigan, who's probably a full-grown adult by now. Flint water crisis, the water is brown and everything, and Barack Obama's coming to this predominantly black community with this poisoned water, and once again, it's like, hey, the nigga's coming here to save us. He's going to stop us. I mean, he has federal authority. Surely he can put some state legislation in, or surely he can have an emergency budget or a fund to where he can redistribute cleaner pipes and he can redistribute the water, add minerals. We have the top scientists and budgets of technology in the world. I'm sure in this first world country, we can at least address a clean water crisis, right? And this is Barack Obama. Nigga, what? Nigga, what? Can you get some water? Did you see one thing about children? Children don't lie. Look at this child's face when he said, first of all, salute. I forgot the OG's name right here, but he just passed away, I think, under a year ago. He used to give those people at city council hell. He used to talk to them. Eric Mays. Yes, sir. Salute to Eric Mays. Original OG nigga was not letting them talk crazy. He used to get him hell out there in city council. He would not let things fly. And one thing, look at this child's face. This is a Flint water crisis. Look, and this goofy ass tether, this goofy nigga says, what? I need some water. Watch this. Look at that little boy. He's like, what the? Come on, bro. And they're all telling him to get a.
Barack Obama.
We were holding on to.
My bad. I didn't know it was no volume. That is crazy. My bad. That's why I'm reading chat. My bad.
I want a glass of water.
Get a bottle. Bottle water.
I want a glass of water.
So pretty much like I was saying, just to reintroduce the video, he was pretty much in Flint, Michigan. It was the water crisis, and he's going there, pulling up a water stunt in each location and just disrespecting and minimizing what's really happening in Flint, Michigan. And like I was saying before, to be the black president, to be going in these spaces, to be sitting in front of these black people who are asking for your help, and instead of you helping these people, you are sitting here literally mocking them. They know when they turn their faucet on, when they go home from this press conference Barack Obama's doing, their water doesn't look the way he's portraying it. Look.
Everybody settle down. This is a bicycle crowd. Thank you. I really did need a glass of water. This is not a stunt.
Look at the faces of them, bro. They like, what?
What? He wet his lips. He did not drink it. He didn't sip it. He wet his lips.
There was an audible gasp in the audience. People were just like absolutely dejected. Why would you do that?
I am sure that somewhere when I was 2 years old, I was taking a chip of paint, tasting it, and I got some lead.
Yeah, that's like talking about like, well, I didn't wear a seatbelt and I'm fine. It's like, but there were tons of people that died.
Backstage, the president, sitting at the table with the criminal governor, decided to perform his stunt all over again.
You know, generally I have not been doing stunts here, but, you know.
That's not what I expected. That's what Snyder did.
It felt like he minimized like what people are actually going through and struggling with. If you were actually lead poisoned, you would not be president. You would be janitor Barack Obama.
We were holding on to hope that he would declare a disaster area. A disaster would give us FEMA. It would give us pipe replacement, get engineers in here. Then we could get Medicare for all the residents.
Anything I was saying.
As soon as he took a drink of the water and said everything's fine, that was that.
And the Flint situation wasn't just black people. Like I said, white people live there. Like he just literally just undermined a whole community that's still not clean to this day. So, you know, sometimes we sit here and we tend to forget that Little Miss Flint is still running around for a reason. Little Miss Flint is still just disrespecting shit for a reason. I mean, not disrespect, but getting disrespected for a reason, bro. Like talking about he was eating paint chips. Like it's niggas in Baltimore who really had lead checks because them niggas is fucked up like in real time, bro. Like it's people who have really been affected by what he has done, right? So we're going to go ahead and play some of the backlash that's been happening since this video's been playing. Salute to Nina Turner. We're going to go ahead and get this cracking really quick. Adding this to the stage. And before I speak, this is what I'm trying to say. This is what was so cool, I think, about this, and even what I'm seeing right now, the last week and a half, is a lot of the people, not Nina Turner per se, but it's a lot of black political speakers and figures, commentators, who usually give us a lot of coon babble and a lot of butter biscuit babble and a lot of, griot type stuff, you know what I'm saying? The root type stuff. They have kind of been doing a 180. They've kind of been waking up. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if CNN knew when they bring these people on who usually buck dance for the Democratic Party that they were going to switch up. But a lot of them are switching up. But Nina Turner, she's been holding down. And she definitely came through with some bars on this. So we're going to go ahead and play it fair use. Or we don't even care because, it is what it is. Guys, you can hit the like button.
But before his guest feature in Pennsylvania, Obama made a surprise visit to Kamala Harris's campaign headquarters in Pittsburgh. It was there that he got candid, maybe a little too candid if you are in the vice president's inner circle tonight. He warned that Harris is underperforming him with black voters, and he had a message specifically for black men.
Part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for it. So now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable.
CNN political commentator Errol Lewis is in our fifth seat for this conversation. Errol, I guess he knew the cameras were there. It was an unscheduled stop, but that message was so pointed. In addition to him making it very clear, Kamala Harris is not doing what she needs to do.
I'm just going to go ahead and pause that so I can give a little bit of context. That was another part of his speech where he threw out the same trope that a lot of lazy Kamala Harris supporters have been saying to a lot of the men. It's the same narrative they were saying about Hillary Clinton, the way when they're like, you just don't want a woman to lead. You just don't want a woman to be the president. It's not the case. It's not what anybody said. That's not what I'm saying. I know it, and I will say, I'm going to be honest. I know it's some men who do say that they don't want a woman president. I'm not saying that, and a bunch of black men aren't even saying that, because like I said, one thing about the black community that a lot of people like to, the biggest myth in the black community is that our family structures aren't predominantly matriarchies, where like mom runs the household, like grandma, big mama is the head of the house. So being led by women isn't unfamiliar to black men, but we know women leaders, so we know when one comes up and we know when one's not there. We know when you don't cut the snuff, like you don't fit the mold. You don't walk like you don't sound like you don't act like you're like, she don't remind me of none of my aunties, my grandma, my mama, none of my supervisors in corporate America, none of my teachers, none of my house administrators, none of my vice principals. She does not remind me of a black elder that I had before. You know what I'm saying? So salute everybody who's in here from Starport, you know what I'm saying? But like you said right here, it's people who support Barack Obama, but saying the things that you said on some real to black men, it was just like, damn, bro, like you didn't come at anybody else but us. And it's like, we haven't seen Barack Obama since he left office, unless he's coming to drop off his fake ass playlist. Go listen to Charlie XCX in the Hamptons, bro. Don't come down here talking to real niggas, talking about what we doing or what we're not doing for you, hoe ass nigga.
With this core Democratic constituency.
That's right. Although he is asking her, let's be clear, to go over a very high hurdle. Barack Obama got historic levels of black voter registration and turnout and support, and he did it twice. It was almost inevitable that it was going to swing more toward the long-term average of a handful of black voters.
Can I interrupt you for just a moment, just to show you something here? Because we went back, looked at 2020 exit polls. Biden got 92% of the black vote. Right now, according to Quinnipiac, this is in Pennsylvania, according to Quinnipiac, Harris is at 78. It's a big gap in this state right now. And that can be closed because Biden is not Barack Obama.
Biden is not, well, he was Obama's running mate. Certainly some spillover there. But you cannot ask of every black candidate in the post-Obama era, you've got to come up with 92% of the black vote every time. That is just not a reasonable assumption. If the margins are as tight as they're likely to be in this race, that's going to cause you problems in Pittsburgh and in Philadelphia and in Detroit and in Milwaukee and in Atlanta and in all of the swing states. And so they're going to have to come up with a strategy. Now, Barack Obama is trying one strategy, trying to sort of connect with some of the black male voters who they think have been drifting away and are likely to drift away in these last 26 days. I'm not sure that's the right message.
I mean,
they have to try something.
It's a lot of pressure. I mean, this is not a nice message. This is a very stern message.
Let me ask you a question, Abby and Nina. Let me say, I find it very interesting that we're trying to reach out to white men. We're trying to reach out to black men. The people whose rights are really on the ballot right now are women. And we're begging all these men to pay attention to us and to care enough about this election to vote.
Pause. I'm going to pause it right there. I just want to say, that when we're trying to have a real particular discussion, you see how the Karen throws women's rights in a particularly nuanced conversation about Black men's enthusiasm about Kamala Harris and in the context in the layers of why we're not voting for Kamala Harris on a cultural level. The white lady comes and throws the interference in, trying to switch the narrative as if, why do we care about men? Because it's women's. But hold on, nigga. Men do have votes. You have to get votes. It's not about how you feel. It's about what you need. That's why Kamala Harris behind, because she always trying to pander about how people feel instead of what they need. I don't feel like a hug. I don't feel like singing One Nation Under a Groove. I feel like, where's my reparations check, nigga? I feel like, where's the bag? Where's the wall?
Come out to support us. I feel like Barack going on the campaign trail right now makes perfect sense. Of course, right? He's a top surrogate for Democrats. He should be out there doing the work right now. I think it's so amazing to me that with women's rights on the line, we're spending so much time focusing on making sure men care.
Because men, I don't know, it's because men are the problem
Men
right now for
care.
Kamala Harris.
I mean, women.
And by the way, Governor Walz, according to Politico, is going to be going out on a men tour, literally a tour of media to appeal to men.
They need to appeal to the needs of the voters. And so when I was a delegate for President Obama in both of his elections in Ohio, right now the vice president is down 11 points.
I'm going to pause. This is Nina Turner, at Nina Turner on Twitter. She be talking for real on Twitter. I don't know. I think she ran for some type of seat in a Democratic seat, I think, in Ohio, and she didn't get it. And some people say that the Democrats don't mess with her. That's why she's coming to kick niggas back in. But it don't matter, because now she's talking that talk. She came in, beautiful Black sister came in, and she started giving everybody that work.
Points in Ohio, even though I fully expect President Trump to take Ohio as he did twice, but to be down 11 points compared to President Biden, that is a problem. But this other issue I want to bring up is a problem too. Why are Black men being lectured to? Why are Black men being belittled in ways that no other voting group? Now, a lot of love for former President Obama, but for him to single out Black men is wrong. And some of the Black men that I have talked to have their reasons why they want to vote a different way. And even if some of us may not like that, we have to respect it. So unless President Barack Obama is going to go out and lecture every other group of men from other identity groups, my message for Democrats is don't bring it here to Black men who, by and large, don't vote much differently from Black women. And why? As a politician, we should be trying to get all voters to vote. And hopefully there are a few good men out there who do care about the stripping away of some of women's bodily autonomy. But this is wrong for President Obama. It is a wrong course for the Harris-Walz campaign to lay at the feet of Black men when they have their reasons. In 2020, the vice president was labeled a cop, as we know.
But do you think, sorry to interrupt you, Nina, but do you think he's right that one of the reasons is because they don't like the idea of
it might be some, listen, Black men are socialized in the same society as any other man. So yes, is misogyny may be a part of it, but again, is President Obama and is the Harris-Walz campaign going to lecture other male groups in the same way that they're lecturing?
This is not just about,
I don't think so.
It's not just about Pennsylvania. It's not just about men. It sounds like there's a concern that there's a broad problem for Vice President Harris with the blue wall. It's basically, according to the poll of polls, no clear.
Do a short pause right there. Hey, salute Elvis, the Chef Rosenberg in the building, American Talk Live. Salute Carlton Way. Salute, like I said, Black McCain, keeping that live chat rolling. Hit like, subscribe button. Do you see the white lady's face? I don't know. The cameraman didn't do the white lady any favors with these camera shots of her reactions to everything that's being said. And just like Nina said, I mean, men are being raised in a society, in a universal society. I mean, we all have our own subcultures and our own things that happen within our own, I guess, like race and ethnicities. But for the most part, men and women have biological experiences that, you know, make us to relate to each other. So I'm going to go ahead and play.
Clear leader, a tied race essentially in all three of these battleground states. You know, I don't know that this is because Trump has run a great campaign, but I mean,
I don't think it's that.
I mean, maybe he has, maybe he hasn't, but he has struggled against Kamala Harris in this early stage, but he's still kept this race pretty tied and maybe has made some inroads in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, absolutely, he has. Vice President Harris's high watermark was about a week and a half after the convention. It's slowly been trickling down. That Quinnipiac poll showing the vice president down in Michigan and Wisconsin sent alarm bells throughout every Democrat office in the country. But I want to say this, the blue wall is cracking. And black men are just one part of a broader puzzle that she hasn't been able to reach. Now, to her credit, she hasn't been running for very long. This campaign's new. This is a new experiment of replacing somebody late in the cycle. So, okay, we'll give her that. However, she's struggling with union voters. The two of the biggest unions ever didn't endorse her. She's struggling with Muslim Americans in Michigan, according to CARE's own numbers. She's struggling with Hispanics in California. She's not expected to remake the Obama coalition. That's impossible. That's a 1 in a million, especially given the short time frame. But she has a lot of bigger problems, and that's why you see Tammy Baldwin panicking about being down more.
Here's Debbie Dingle. People need to see the real Kamala Harris. This is what she told Axios. They need to let her get in the union halls and just talk to people. Whatever you think about Trump, he's personable.
Well, I think that's one of the things. I mean, he obviously, from 2016 all the way through 2020, now through 2024, he comes off as a fighter. He comes off as a fighter for whatever issue matters to you. I think that's one of his big appeals. One of the challenges, I think, for the vice president's campaign is that I don't think Barack Obama is the right surrogate to go out there and do it. No, now, he's beloved by Democrats. He's beloved generally by Americans, but he's never had coattails. Aside from 2008, when he first got elected, Democrats lost more than 1,000 seats in state and federal offices during his 8 years. He was the sitting president when Donald Trump won Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, with Barack Obama campaigning in Michigan and in Pennsylvania, and it didn't change the narrative. So I just don't know if he has the coattails. He'll fire up the base, but he's going to get anybody new to come out and vote.
You know, the other mistake that they're making is focusing too much on personality. I mean, Kamala Harris has got an appealing personality, and we're all getting to know her. But this is the incumbent party. She was part of an administration. They have a decent record to run on. You could say to black men, for example, $7 billion for historically black colleges and universities. You know, we've done certain things. We've had an economy where we've had not one, not two, but over 36 record highs in the stock market this year. If you've got a retirement account, that is helping you. You can go out and explain these things, or you can sort of say, well, let's try and segment this.
Oh,
Back to our breaking news here on First Take. The Jets.
all right. Yeah, my bad. Okay, so pretty much my whole plan is okay. So yeah, back to what I was saying. See, yeah, man, it's like the whole point of her whole, okay, we're gonna send Obama out here, and Obama's gonna try to talk these niggas and get them to vote. Like, Obama does not have that same staying power. He cannot galvanize black people anymore, bro. We've done our research. We watched him. We sat here. We seen your boy Joe Biden come in here and give us nothing. We seen him tell us if we don't vote for him, he ain't black. You didn't check him on that. You didn't do anything. You didn't help anybody out. So I just don't understand why we all got to sit here and kowtow to what Barack Obama wants us to do, knowing damn well he doesn't have anything to benefit us. And like I said before, we're seeing the results of it. It was Nina Turner. You got niggas like Tavis Smiley who have came out and salute to the OG Tavis Smiley. Also, real salute to the OG Tavis Smiley, because at the end of the day, like, we actually do. At the end of the day, bro, like I said, a lot of the people who have been in old media are kind of getting fed up with the same things we've been getting over and over and over and over again. And I don't understand why, in God's name, do we have to sit here and be relegated to not getting anything, just being told, just shut the hell up and vote. And Tavis Smiley, like I said, Scoots to OG, we're going to play this in the full screen. You know what I'm saying? And even he had a few, a few things he had, he's seeing things for what they are, and they kind of got him out of his old show on a very slimy way. But Tavis Smiley always held it down, did a lot of good Prince interviews. Here he goes on his platform.
I'd have been surprised at Barack Obama's smackdown is because this is not some new or strange phenomenon. Let me put it this way. If you were surprised by Barack Obama's comments last week, I can tell you who was more surprised. Care to guess? Barack Obama. I know he is still scratching his head. I've been talking down to these Negroes for 15 years. Now they're going to act all brand new like they don't know me? Help me, Holy Ghost. No, y'all know who I am. I'm the one who at the Congressional Black Caucus Dinner told y'all to stop whining, stop crying, stop complaining, take off your slippers and go do something. I'm the same one who admonished black men during my commencement address at Dr. King's alma mater, Morehouse College. Somebody rescue me if I'm wrong. I'm the same one who gave black men the business at a black church on the south side of Chicago, wait for it, on Father's Day. Y'all know who I am. I'm the one who sang Amazing Grace in South Carolina. I'm the one who broke y'all off some Al Green at the Apollo in Harlem. Now you acting all funny style. Y'all Negroes know me. I'm the one who told you repeatedly, I am not the president of Black America. I'm the president of all America. Y'all Negroes are killing me.
Oh, you motherfucker. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh? You think you can do this shit? Jay! You think you can do this to me? You motherfuckers will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get finished with you. Shoe program, nigga. 23-hour lockdown. I'm the man up in this piece. You'll never see the light of day. Who the f you think you fucking with? I'm the police. I run shit here. You just live here. Yeah, that's right. You better walk away. Go and walk away, because I'm going to burn this motherfucker down. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Yeah, that's exactly how he was talking to you niggas, man. That's how he was talking to us. That's how he was talking to us at the end of the day. That's my point. That's my problem. That's what I'm talking about. Like, and like I said, Tavis Smiley, man, even he sees it, because what I said before and the things that I have shown before, the coverage, the footage, we have had years to watch and to decipher and digest Barack Obama really turning his nose up to Black Americans time and time and time again. So now you're trying to roll out and you know, talk to us crazy, you know what I'm saying, or try to act like you're the black dad coming down and telling us we need to do the right thing and go help auntie even though she ain't shit. Nigga, fuck you. Nigga, fuck you. So, once again, Tavis Smiley, Nina Turner. Now we have a all-star cast Ninja Turtle. We have a Ninja Turtle CNN special right now, and I just really want to show love to the Ninja Turtles for coming to speak on the election of Black men. The Bald Black Nigga Association really stepped up. No Yankee hats, no snapbacks, straight bald head niggas holding it down. Salute, and let's watch this. But they do have a few questionable niggas on this panel, I will say. And the moderator, which is a beautiful Black woman, but she throws some mammy interference in this interview. But I just want to preference that once again, a lot of the Black voices in media are stepping up on these high platforms, and they are speaking somewhat some truth to power, or trying their best to do it. And I like to see the tides turn somewhat, especially on platforms like CNN.
Is Obama in the wrong here with how he's talking about Black men in particular and singling them out in this way?
Yeah, let's start from here. He is still the greatest living retail politician. He's objectively a top 15 president, but even he can swing in.
Hey, pause. I'm sorry, I just gotta pause this really quick. Who is this nigga, bro? Let's just be honest. Who is this nigga? Who is this nigga, bro? Who is this guy? I'm not playing the colorism game, but let's not act like colorism isn't the main factor when it comes to how these traditional organizations play the brown paper bag test. And it's like, we have one Black Negro to speak on Black topic, and it's a Michael Eric Dyson S-curl looking ass nigga who's gonna be the spokesperson for the Black experience. Some Sean, what's that guy named Sean White or whatever, you know the guy. I know, you know what I'm saying, melanated people, we are on the spectrum, but sometimes we have certain conversations, just like we've seen. I want to see dark-skinned bald niggas talk about what niggas need. I don't want to see no niggas like this, bro. I don't want to see no Drake niggas talk about the experience.
Here he swung and missed. Here's what he did. Harris has been very strategic about when and how she's spoken about gender and race. And he stepped on that. And when she hasn't spoken about it, he stepped on that message. And I think also with those comments, and there's more to this, but let me just start with this, is that he forgets, at least in that moment, that she doesn't get the benefit of being a historic first the way he did. She's a historic first woman if she wins.
Maybe that's part of the problem. That's what he's saying. Why doesn't she get the benefit?
Well, first of all, we have to remember that this is a thing. Like, Barack Obama has a history of kind of chastising specifically Black men, and like the question is whether
and pause. I just want to salute Michael Harriet, because this niggas went viral plenty of times for niggas explaining and babbling and just not knowing what the fuck he's even saying. So and he seems like he means well, but he's been known to be a babbling Negro. And I'll try to find that later. But I just like the fact that he finally got himself together in order to eloquently do his best to not coon out. You know what I'm saying? So let's just continue this nigga.
What he said is relevant, right? Because there are a few black men, like there are a few white men who are more conservative than black women, and more white men are conservative than white women. But the point is, does this work, right? And there's no evidence that it's true or that it works. And he doesn't do that with, like, you've never heard him say, why don't you white women stop being racist and vote for me or Kamala Harris, or they don't talk to Hispanic voters or LGBTQ voters. It's only specifically black men that he takes this tact that doesn't work.
Why do you think that is?
Because you know why.
No,
Because
tell me.
You see, you peep what she did. She basically told that nigga, hey man, stand on it, nigga. She told Dawg, she said, hey man, stand on business. You tell us why. And I think a lot of Michael Harlot's resentment is the same thing I'm saying. When you want to browbeat, you want to be black. When it's like, can you save us? You America's president. You know what I'm saying? So don't you criticize America, just don't come here. But what she's saying, tell us why is that? And that's when he starts stumbling and fumbling and starts kind of almost nigga-splaining, but he's holding it tight. But hey, listen, Mammy threw the curveball and she said, oh, no, I don't know why. You tell us why. You tell us why, Michael.
Why don't you white women stop being racist and vote for me or Kamala Harris, or they don't talk to Hispanic voters or LGBTQ voters? It's only specifically black men that he takes this tact that doesn't work.
Why do you think that is?
Because you know why.
No,
Because
tell me.
The second most loyal, the most progressive group of men on the planet, they don't care about. They assume that they have the vote and they don't have to do anything for it. And the point of this is that if you don't vote for Kamala Harris and you're a black man, something must be wrong with you. That is the subtext of everything that they're saying.
Well, this is what I would say to this, because I was there when the NABJ interviewed.
So salute to Michael Harriot pinpointing, not letting the beautiful sister play the trick bag. I smell a Brad somewhere in her bedroom. I smell a Brad or a Chad in her bedroom. I smell a Scooter the shooter between her sheets. I smell a Scooter the shooter between her sheets. But I just want to salute Michael Harriot for not getting tricked up on those butter biscuits that was sliding on the floor while he was speaking and getting his point across.
Kamala Harris.
Here we go with another one.
What Kamala Harris said then was that you asked that question with the assumption that black men are in somebody's pocket. You can't make that assumption. Black men are just like any other group. They have their interests, and I'm working to get their vote. I don't expect to get it because I am black. I am working to get their vote. And that is what she said. And so I think we have to focus on what she said about black men. And I think we also have to focus on the fact that most black men are going to vote for Kamala Harris anyway. That is the reality. But I think that in talking to black people every day, which I do as a radio host, I've heard some black men say, I'm not voting for her because she is a woman. I've heard that. And I think that is reprehensible. I got to be honest.
So he's heard it. I mean, are we, when I say we, I mean the collective we as the country, afraid to just talk about a thing?
I think
is Obama saying
about it, but if he's telling Barack Obama to fix a problem, you have to wonder if this fixes a problem. If I am interested in getting Kamala Harris elected, then I am upset because he hurt the thing, the strategy that she was employing to win.
Well, I think part of what has to happen, though, is that you have to have that conversation in private. There are some things you talk about in the barbershop when there's no cameras, right? There's some things that you talk about at home. There's some things that are family business. And I think the mistake that Barack Obama made was to take family business in the street.
Hey, I'm gonna pause this really quick and we're gonna go back. But that nigga there, hold on, let me try to do another screen. This nigga right here, maybe he's there to run an opposing opinion, but I have an issue with a few things he said. Yeah, there is a segment. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I've been in the streets. I'm talking to niggas, and some people say they don't want to vote for Kamala Harris just because she's a woman. But that's not a black male thing. That is a male issue in whole, that they don't want to vote for Kamala Harris because she's a woman. That is the same people that didn't want to vote for Hillary Clinton because she was a woman. Those are males across races and ethnicities. And I don't want to just keep trying to highlight the black men who say that it's a black man issue, because it's not a black man issue.
Shaming voters is a terrible idea. It was bad when Hillary Clinton did it with deplorables.
Yo, who yaped this nigga up? Yo, who yaped this nigga hairline? Hold on, bro. Who yaped this nigga hairline up, bro? Come on, man.
Bad when Mitt
Come
Romney
on, bro.
did it on the eve of the election. Even if there's a grain of truth to it and there's the occasional radio caller that's going to admit to that sentiment, let's actually look at the fact that Biden was struggling with black voters. And that was a topic of conversation over and over again. So it's not about
let's take
sexism.
but let's hold on one second. Let me take a look at this. Let's take a look at the numbers, because I think just to see what we're talking about here, there's been a progressive decline in overall support among black men and, to a lesser degree, black women for the Democratic nominee. Biden was doing better among black men than Harris appears to be right now, based on some of the better polling that looks at these demographics. So I guess the other part of this is, you're talking about keep the business private. You're saying he's messing up the strategy, but the numbers are the numbers. And he's trying to fix a numerical problem that she has, a math problem that she has.
I agree with most of what you were saying, Solomon. I don't think the problem is that he spoke it out loud. I think the problem is that he singled out black men. In other words, there is a sexism component to this race. There was a sexism component to the Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump race. Right? If Trump wins, he will have only ever beaten women. I can't give you a number, but sexism is in the mix here. But it's not black men specifically. I think it's men, not black men. And that I think.
And salute to the Manila colored nigga right here with no yape up and combing his hair backwards, because you know what, he said a great point, and he said what I just said. That's a man issue. That's not a black man issue, and there's no point of why you would try to make it a black man issue when that's how a lot of men, especially this red pill wave that we've been seeing the last 5 to 6 years, you know what I'm saying? That's where it comes from. So we can't be sitting here and blaming that when we've seen a whole red pill wave take over social media in the last 5 to 6 years. That's crazy. Thank you. A 16-point decline in black women, and we're going after the men. And I'm not saying going after black women. Why don't you go after the Democratic Party for presenting us shitty candidates with no tangibles, telling us to vote because somebody looks black enough to vote for?
I think is part of where Obama went wrong.
And I think we also have to look at numbers and actual statistics, right? Because all of those reliable polling has a small demographic of black men. You're talking about most of them poll at most 40, 50 black men, right?
Well, I don't think this, in this particular case, just to be clear about what we were looking at there, the exit polls were from the actual elections that we had, and then the Pew polling, Pew looks more closely at specific demographics, and they do that in a way that we, as a news organization, deem to be a reliable way of looking at this. Not every poll is reliable, but we think this one is.
And when you remember now, we had the same conversation 2 years ago about Stacey Abrams. Why won't black men support Stacey Abrams? And after the election was over, we saw the numbers, and black men in Georgia, where I live, supported Stacey Abrams at higher rates than they supported Biden. So we have this narrative, and then you have the truth, and you have this conjecture. And
but the candidates are speaking with their actions. Kamala Harris next week is sitting down with Charlemagne the God to talk to black men. They're being explicit about it. And she should. Right. So let me play for you what happened on Charlemagne's show yesterday when they were talking about a call that they'd received from a black man in Florida. This was kind of in the context of the storms, but they played the call. Listen.
It don't matter what they is, Democrat, Republican, they all treason, man. They all about money, bro. None of these people care about American people, bro. This shit hurt, bro. This shit hurt, bro. People wake up every day just want to live their life, bro. And you got these greedy snakes, man. You got these greedy snakes. Call themselves government service people, bro, and they don't give a damn.
Yeah. And the thing about that call was that, they said it's kind of representative of what they hear often on that show, which is why she's going there.
Well, I think that you have people who are angry. I think that you have people who are planted. I think that you have people who are sent to troll. I think that you have people who are sent with a specific message to deliver to black people. And you see it online. I hear it on the radio. I see it on social media. I see it on our Facebook feed as we're doing our show. And so I think some of that is real, and I think some of it is manufactured. I think some of it is performative. But I do think that there are black men at two ends of the spectrum. There's an old black man that's going to say, well, I'm not going to vote for a woman because
I'm going to pause this for another second, because this is why I do disagree with what he's saying. Because he's like you just saying, he's downplaying what Buddy just said. And what I'm hearing, what Buddy just said, that's not a black issue to me. That's an American problem. That is an American problem. The caller just happened to be black, calling on black platform. But for the fact that what he was saying was so accurately identified with everybody who heard what he said, this guy who's basically going against him, Solomon Jones, respect to the brother Solomon Jones. But like 1 minute, I do agree that there are trolls and they are certain messages that are being sent out by certain people to disseminate across the Black community for us to go in a certain direction and be manipulated. I do agree, but I don't believe that when we hear callers like that or certain things, that's what you need to call out. I mean, you're literally sitting on CNN. Why don't you call out CNN? Why don't you call out the organizations you actually work for? Because those are the people who are actually disseminating false information in the Black community and online and stuff, bro. These are the people who paying Cambridge Analytica and Russian bots to start stuff, bro. It's not the fucking everyday people who may be calling to the Breakfast Club. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't understand why he's on here that's just downplaying everything you say. And then the point that he's about to make right here is one of the stupidest things I think I've ever heard when you're comparing an old Black man and a young Black man in 2024.
Bible says men should be in charge, right? There's that guy. But then there's the young Black man who only gets his news from social media and nowhere else. And so he's not watching us. He's not listening. He's not reading me or Michael. He's not reading David. He's not doing any of that. His news comes from social media. And so he has a specific point of view and is likely to believe conspiracy theories. The question is, do people who vote, are they on social media or are they on Social Security? I think they're on Social Security.
Well, I think that
man who only gets his news from accurate. I think some of it is performative, but I do think that there are Black men at two ends of the spectrum. There's the old Black man that's going to say, well, I'm not going to vote for a woman because the Bible says men should be in charge, right? There's that guy. But then there's the young Black man who only gets his news from social media and nowhere else. And so he's not watching us. He's not listening. He's not reading me or Michael. He's not reading David. He's not doing any of that. His news comes from social media. And so he has a specific point of view and is likely to believe conspiracy theories. The question is, do people who vote, are they on social media or are they on Social Security? I think they're on Social Security.
Well, I think that.
And that's my problem, because last time I checked, I mean, I'm not like a child, but I consider myself a young Black man. I'm part of the younger Black man community. I'm not on Social Security, and I do consume my information on social media, but it's on social media via these platforms like CNN and everybody else who have converted their media over to social media into the computers. So I don't understand what the fuck he's talking about on that point. And then number two, the gross generalization of you think it's a bunch of old niggas that know what's right and a bunch of young niggas that's online trolling. This is the same reason why Barack Obama can't get the vote. This is the same reason why there's a disconnect between the older Black community and the young Black community, because the old Black community feel like they know it all. And he's the same, like how a woman, you talking about old niggas on Social Security, right? You talking about old niggas on Social Security. These are the same old people that be getting robocalls and getting finessed because somebody's using their credit card. Somebody's trying to get the Social Security number. Talking about the same old niggas that got the big ass things on their screen that be talking about what Facebook says so and so got blown up today. And you like, nah, grandma, so and so didn't get blown up. That's just something on Facebook. So you telling me the ones who are getting manipulated online are the young kids who are actually creating the apps and knowing how to run these things? Those are the ones that are doing it. But the old niggas, the young niggas can be manipulated. The old niggas who don't know what's real or fake on the internet, don't even know half the stuff that they see as AI. You're telling me those are the ones who know right from wrong and that are voting correctly. And now you do see the disconnect between the old Black community and young Black community, because you keep trying to talk to the young Black community. We don't know what's going on, knowing that we got information way faster, way earlier, way sooner. Back to these bald-headed Negroes trying to hold it down for Black men on CNN.
The problem is that
it's like you got two bald niggas who decided, hey man, my hairline is going back like a drop top, and you got one nigga who combs his hair backwards with no yape up, and another nigga that should have got a little Beijing sprinkled on his forehead before he went live.
No one's disputing that this government in this country doesn't treat that they treat Black men okay, or that we don't have a gripe with either party, right? Because if you talk to Black people privately, they will have a gripe with the Democratic Party. The point is, how do you fix it? And why don't you approach that solution the same way you approach the solution with white people and white women who don't vote Democratic, the white men who don't vote Democrat, the Hispanics who don't vote? Why do you take the specific tact for one demographic and not the entire political strategy that you use for everyone else?
I think the answer is what you said a minute ago, which is that Democrats have to get out of the habit of taking the Black vote for granted. Yeah, Trump got 19% of Black men, 12% of Black people last time around. Like, it's going to be a bigger number this time. adapt to that. Don't just assume.
I think we're talking a lot about race, but in many ways, gender is the key variable here, because even if you look at white people, the Republican Party has been getting a higher and higher share of the male vote. The parties have become more gendered overall, and it's true of Hispanics. So what we're seeing among black people is similar to the trends we're seeing among other races. So that's the key question: is why are the parties getting more gendered?
Well, I think the AP did a poll last month in the middle of the month, and what they found was that the overwhelming majority of black voters, whether they are male or female, favor Kamala Harris over Donald Trump. They had a positive view of her, they had a negative view of him, and there wasn't much difference between men and women. So I think that when we're talking about this, we're talking about people who are loud and wrong. I think that's what's happening, is that we hear these voices, they're very loud, and we think that there are more of them than there are. And we'll see when the election happens.
All right, so you know what I'm saying, salute CNN, salute those people. They really held it down. Like I said, some of those black guys I've seen on other platforms stutter and look crazy. Like, I might just bring this up really quick before we continue with some more footage. Yeah. Let me see. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna keep rolling with more footage. I'm not playing, dumb nigga stumbling and fumbling over his words. So I'm gonna go to another one, Lord Jamar, right? Lord Jamar. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm gonna go to the Lord Jamar clip, because to me, he's kind of held things down for the most part. When it comes to like FBA things, when it comes to really just holding shit down for the black community for the most part, I would say. I don't. He used to be on Vlad TV in the early parts, but it just seems like Lord Jamar usually is on the right side of things and holding everything down when he speaks. Definitely holds Tariq Nasheed down when it comes to hip hop documentaries and things like that, and just getting the history correct on the origins of hip hop. So anytime he speaks, I listen and I pay attention, because like I said before, I feel like he's somebody who should be taken serious on what he's saying, seeing the status he's had in his game. Lord Jamar, he's definitely been been somebody who's had boots to the ground. Let me see what Black McBain says. My mom thinks Tupac actually came back from Cuba to this kid. More old folks are just lazy, stupid in this era. Let's keep it a buck. That's what I'm saying, bro. You put anything on Facebook and them old niggas gonna be pulling up. Hey, my mom say falling for that Facebook. Hey, that's what I'm saying. It's like, how you trying to tell me the young niggas don't know what's going on, but the old niggas are one falling for stuff? So 4 people I never want to hear from again: Orlando Brown, Jagger Wright, Lord Jamar, Charleston White. I'm gonna be honest. Out of all 4 of these people, I'm gonna say, and people in chat, if y'all want to do this game, let's do something real quick in the chat before I play this clip, or while I play this clip. Out of all 4 of these people, who is more believable? And yeah, out of these 4 people, who is more believable? Orlando Brown, Jaguar White, Lord Jamar, Charleston White. Just put in the chat, who do you think is a more believable person when they speak on, their beliefs? And I'm going to start this clip. Just go ahead and put that name in the chat if you feel like it. Ain't no pressure.
People want to act like Trump is the worst motherfucker in the world, but guess what? He was already president, and all this shit you talking about didn't happen. He didn't make himself a dictator, and this whole shit about he's going to make himself a dictator is really taken so out of context that it's ridiculous. He said he'd make himself a dictator on the first day, to implement some shit, and then, but that was, trust me, said tongue in cheek. It was not said seriously. Y'all already living in Project 2024. Okay, you worried about Project 2025 when they already ran Project 2020 on you with the scandemic and all that fucking bullshit. Like, what the fuck are y'all really even talking about? Y'all trying to act like, scare me into thinking that he's so bad that I should just vote for this broad just because. But guess what? I feel that she's so bad. She's the one that scares me. So I feel that she's so bad that guess what? I might just go fuck around and vote for Trump. And this is my first time saying this out loud. But y'all motherfuckers think you're going to shame somebody or bully a nigga into voting for this bitch? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And now you're going to make me be Mr. Anti. You keep coming at me with this bullshit. You keep coming at me talking about oh, it's a shame that you're not supporting a black woman. And she's not black. She's Indian. She ain't black. Fuck out of here. They're gonna, yeah, listen, I don't give a fuck. Trust me, the sentiment on the street in the real world is a lot of people are not fucking with this woman. They see right through her. And they're trying to blame it on black men, but no, I see a lot of black women that are not fucking with her neither. Okay?
Once again, salute Lord Jamar. Like I said, today wasn't going to be one of those, we going to, soft shoe. We're going to try to make sure everybody feels good. No, we were coming back today with an episode that was going to be covering black men and how black men feel about Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party and the narratives that have been surrounding them during this election season. I've sat back. It's very hard to refrain from doing any type of political commentary these last few months, especially with things that's been going on. But I stopped because, especially with the politics, because I'm like, you know what? I think that black men in the next few months, like I've been seeing, September, August, this whole time Kamala Harris has been the front runner for the Democratic Party, that we're not just going to do the same thing that we have historically done. And like I said before, I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat, but I am a black American man. And tonight I am showing coverage, wall-to-wall coverage of black men in the media, black men on publications, artists, commentators, journalists, political figures of all spaces in media that are sharing their opinion. And it sounds like we are all on code as a collective. And it's a bunch of niggas who are usually not on code about anything. So just to see a bunch of niggas all on code at one time about what we're not going to do is why I titled this episode, Have Black Men Shifted the Democratic Agenda? Because we're going to go deeper into that. But I'm going to be bringing up another clip from Anton Daniels. He got, so salute to him. He's been doing his thing up in social media, doing his thing in the streets. So I really appreciated seeing him in position, basically seeing him in a position to have some commentary on a higher level and getting his take on this. So we're going to go ahead and widescreen this.
It's a Hail Mary pass, considering that we did vote him in based off of identity politics. And I'm not saying that all is bad, because he did do some things that I didn't necessarily disagree with that Trump absolutely did better than him. But at the same time, I felt that it was incredibly disrespectful, because he's making the assumption that we're not educated enough to lead our families, to look at the policies, to understand exactly what's going on with immigration. And we're supposed to overlook everything that they did over the last 3.5 years that was not in our favor. And when I say our, I'm talking about the American people, let alone men, let alone black men. And we're supposed to vote for her because of some misogynistic reason that's made up. And instead, we've learned how to educate ourselves. And now they've sent their Messiah back to rein us in and bring us back into the Democratic plantation. And most men that I've spoken with have said that it's absolutely disrespectful and we're done with Obama. They took the same blueprint that got Obama elected, and he was a first for us, right? So our grandparents and our parents and things like that wanted to see this happen, but they were largely voting out of ignorance and voluntary ignorance, because they only wanted that identity politics in order to push him through into the presidency. But admittedly, where he was charismatic, she isn't. And so we can see through her. She's a chameleon. When they unleashed her and they allowed for her to be able to take reporters' questions and things like that, it showed that she was completely incompetent. And frankly, not only do we feel disrespected, but I'm uncomfortable with Obama standing in front of us trying to scold us and then divert our attention away from the things that's really meaningful, especially for our families. I'm not comfortable with him. I don't want to hear any more messages of hope. I don't want to hear any more messages of joy. I can feel it with my pocketbooks. My friends can feel it with their pocketbooks. And we're ready for him to get out of our way.
Once again, none of these niggas, it wasn't a giant big black nigga meeting, pause, where everybody was sitting around and was like, you know what, we're going to say this. And even though I don't fuck with your platform, you don't fuck with mine. It's on site when I see you over there. They all got around, and you know, it's on the spectrum pretty much, but they're all saying the same thing. We're all saying the same thing. And why do 1 minute, oh, we love black men, we cherish black men, but when black men are like, hey, there's something funny over there, y'all like, shut up and just vote. Close your eyes, put your head down, do what we tell you. It's like, what? You act like we don't see something. Like, come on, bro. Niggas beef. You talking about black men don't get unified. Black men always want to beef and have competition, argue. And then the one rare time and one of the most important times in Black American history, black men are on one accord post COINTELPRO, post crack era, post mass incarceration, post civil rights era. We're talking about 2024. Black men as a collective mindset are on one accord, at least right now in the media, after Obama did what he did. The last ones left that are hanging on this Kamala Harris train, this Barack Obama wave, are, I'll say, the sweethearts of our community. You know, the men with broken wrists of our community. I would say the Democratic plantation, them niggas are really sitting on there and riding till this ship sinks. And appreciate it. Thank you. This is a really good show. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I took some time, you know what I'm saying, break down these clips, really analyze this, so I give you guys a very thoughtful show. I know my audience is a lot of black men, predominantly black men. So we gonna talk. We're gonna have these type of discussions, and some of us haven't seen these clips. Some of us haven't had a round perspective of everything that's been going on since Obama said what he says. So this is a lot of people's first time getting, so I do appreciate it. That white woman got wet when he said plantation. Weird. That shit was funny. I was watching that. Antonio, yep, political strategist, recovering, yep, he is recovering passport, bro, for sure. But hey, listen, bro, he was saying the right thing. Anybody remember Obama extended unemployment benefits for 3 years in 2009? No. And niggas was still broke. But that's dope. That's dope. That's cool. That's what's up. I ain't say he did everything bad. I think that's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? I think the healthcare thing was pretty cool too. I think Obama did some cool stuff for everybody, not for niggas. Democratic plantation. Yes, Kamala Harris was a villain we needed. You thought it was going to be Donald Trump? No, we needed Kamala Harris. We needed to defeat ourselves before we defeat the enemy. I'm going to say that first. We needed Kamala Harris. She was the enemy we needed, just like Black McBain said. She was a villain we needed because we needed to defeat ourselves and defeat the cosplayers, the tethers, the people who aren't like us, like they not like us. We need to defeat ourselves before we go defeat any type of supremacist mindset or organization. We have to defeat the ones within us who want to play identity politics, who want to just play everybody's vibe to the cookout because you can rap 2-3 bars off of a song. That doesn't qualify you to speak on Black American experiences. Going to Howard, it does not give you the Black experience. I've never seen a white person give a Black person an honorary a pass or a degree, or you're white because you went to a PWI. You know what I'm saying? So just because you go to predominantly white things does not mean you lived a white experience. It does not mean you get to speak on or represent white people. Just like because you went to HBCU does not mean you get to speak on, you know, Black people, or that's your Black ticket or experience. So we're going to play some more coverage before we go into the reaction and the results of what's happening. Going to round it out with your favorite coon. I'm going to say this guy, honestly, I'm going to keep it a buck. Plies, he's from my state, so Florida always got to hold this L. And y'all know one thing about me, dog, I'm going to definitely hold my people accountable, especially people from my state. So we got one of the biggest coons of the 21st century. Plies. Salute Jamie Foxx for exposing this nigga. But we got Plies here, who's clearly been paid by the Democratic Party to run interference, clearly being paid by the Democratic Party to talk butter biscuit lingo to us. So let's go ahead and play Plies after Obama said what he said.
Real quick, this is about the clip that went viral of Obama having a conversation with a group of Black men about why he fucked.
Because, you know, they sent him out here after Obama clip went left. They sent Plies out here to do damage control because, you know, they think all Black men listen to Plies about our political views.
The Walls and Harris ticket was better suited for them. But it's just like they did Magic Johnson. Oh, there you go. Always trying to lecture the black man. That motherfucking man ain't trying to lecture you. He was giving you his opinion. Do what you want to do with the information. But it's just like anytime somebody telling you something you don't want to hear, you feel like they trying to motherfucking lecture you. It's just like a motherfucking kid. You telling a child something he don't want to hear, they gonna turn their motherfucking head because they feel like you trying to lecture them. But Trump can call into a motherfucking black barbershop in Atlanta, Georgia, and tell you the same thing on why he feel you should vote for him. And don't nobody say, oh, there he go, always trying to lecture the black man. He can send Byron Donner and Tim Scott all around the motherfucking country and do radio interviews on why the black people should vote for Donald Trump. And don't nobody say, oh, there you go, always trying to lecture the black man. But the minute the goddamn black man, who for 8 years turned around the motherfucking economy that everybody benefited from, who earned the right to have a motherfucking conversation with you, now he better watch out. Why he always trying to shame the black man? I'm gonna tell you what shaming the motherfucking black man is. Going to your motherfucking city, just like 45 do, whether it's Detroit, whether it's Milwaukee, whether it's Atlanta, and telling you in your motherfucking face, this city is a motherfucking mess because too many of y'all motherfucking live here. That's what's motherfucking shaming you. Well, why he always isolate the black man? Why he don't have that energy for the white man? You know why? If he'd have took his motherfucking ass over there and had an isolated conversation with the white man first, you know what the motherfucking conversation would have been. There you go. Always skipping right over the black man. They always taking our vote for granted. That's exactly what the motherfucking conversation would have been. All men be asked this question, you goddamn right. But he ain't out here demoralizing the motherfucking white man. 45 ain't. I'm just like motherfucking Obama. I'm saying, I'm fine with whatever you do. But when have we start considering supporting the motherfucker who talk about you like a dog? He ain't motherfucking demoralizing the white man. I'd be asking the white man the same thing. Damn, you let him talk to you like that and you still considering supporting him? I personally don't believe no motherfucking group of black men supporting that shit like the media wants you to believe. I personally don't believe it. Not me. Kamala was out here talking about you like a dog and you was considering vote for her. I'd be asking you the same motherfucking question too. White men.
My bad. I thought Kamala Harris, I mean, I don't know what he calls talking to niggas like dogs or talking down to niggas, but I feel like we've been running these clips all night. That's why I kind of want to play the plies, because you've seen, I'm giving you guys a good timeline as of what Barack Obama said, the fallout between the black media. Then after the fallout, you see they roll out the butter biscuit Democratic Shield plies to run interference, right? And then right before we get into some of the last minute tangible things that she's trying to push forward, some of these black agenda things last minute, there are nothing burgers, because people still to this day, matter of fact, Auntie came in the building. Auntie, chill. Like I said, to this day, we got niggas right now that have had it with Barack Obama. They don't want anything to do with Barack Obama right now. And we had what's-his-face, Plaza come out and ran interference. But this is Plaza's celebrity. Let's talk to real people.
Hell do you think you are? Barack Hussein Obama, a.k.a. Barry Soetoro, a.k.a. we don't know who the fuck you truly are. We don't know who you are. Where did you even come from? You're just some nobody out of Chicago, and all of a sudden, you're elevated. Just like Kamala. See, we already know the game now. You people aren't even real. You're created in a Hollywood studio with script writers and production teams. Why did you take over to sit on the board of Netflix? And why are you producing movies with Netflix, like Leave the World Behind, sending those subliminal, actually very blatant messages? Because you yourself there, Barry, are nothing more than a figment of everybody's imagination. And now you're pissed off because black men are seeing through all of the facade and the Hollywood bullshit. Propaganda has worked out well for you, hasn't it there, Barry? Since you did away with the Smith-Mundt Act that forbade news networks and the media from propagandizing American citizens. You made sure that went away so you could pour as much propaganda into this country and the minds of consciousness as you possibly could, you son of a bitch. I spent 7 years of my life fighting your administration, you and Biden, by the way, for my husband's military benefits. My daughter died because of Obamacare. I don't give a fuck about you. And I will be glad when we do not have to see you in the mainstream anymore. Take the money you stole and go back to Kenya. We could care less, honestly. But back to the point. So here we go with you, Obama.
And I'm gonna just leave that at that. We're not gonna play the whole thing, probably. You know what I'm saying? We could if you guys really want to hear it, keep cooking. But she was cooking. I think we got what we needed out of that. That's what I'm saying. It's black women. It's people who really lived through the Obama era. It's people who didn't turn out good for. You know what I'm saying? It's policies that went against real black Americans. You're not gonna get this coverage on other YouTube channels. You're not gonna get this other coverage from people who are looking for, some type of Democratic handout. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not a Republican at all. I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. I'm not any of that. Because even if they had a tangible policy for me, until I see it, bro, you're not going to see me give a vote out. It doesn't make sense. So after you see these people cooking Obama, cooking Kamala Harris for bringing out Obama, cooking the Democratic administration for thinking you could single out black men and bring out this coon buck dancing nigga every 4 years and tell us what we need to do and how we need to vote. Kamala Harris and her team, I guess, went back in the lab and rolled out some 5-point plan, you know what I'm saying? And then you had the bussy boy Bakari Sellers. Y'all remember Bakari Sellers? Remember he got found in a hotel room unconscious with the boy. So Democratic. I don't be trusting these niggas, bro. Another Florida nigga, coon, man. I'm South Carolina. As a matter of fact, it's not Bakari Sellers. My bad, Bakari. It was that other nigga, Andrew Gillum. My bad, Bakari. It was Andrew Gillum. All you Democratic niggas look the same. Y'all got the same barber. So, I'm going to read down. Today, Kamala Harris released an agenda for black men. We've talked about having candidates listen to our needs and concerns, and she has. So, Kamala Harris rolled out this plan. I'm going to go down the 5-point plan. Providing $1 million in loan, providing 1 million loans that are fully forgivable to black entrepreneurs and others to start a business. Number 2, championing education, training, and mentorship programs that help black men get good paying jobs in high demand industries and lead their communities, including pathways to become teachers. Number 3, supporting a regulatory framework of cryptocurrency and other digital assets so black men who invest and own these assets are protected. Number 4, launching a national health equity initiative focused on black men that addresses sickle cell disease, diabetes, mental health, disproportionately impact on them. And number 5, legalizing recreational marijuana and creating opportunities for black Americans to succeed in this new industry. We vote, we win. Okay? I have some issues with this. One of my main issues is, once again, it seems like a lot of these policies that they try to give us are very stereotypical. I'll say that for number 1, legalizing recreational marijuana. Like, as somebody who smokes weed myself, I don't need you to do anything about weed. Weed is the least of my concerns. This isn't what the fuck you've already shitted black men in the weed game to the point that we will probably never catch up to the white dollar and how they have destroyed the weed market on the black market and on the white market. So I don't want to hear anything about what you're trying to do for us. You should have been trying to put legislation for black men. That Obama should have been the one who was protecting black people with marijuana laws from 2008 to 2016. That was Barack Obama's job. We're too far gone to be trying to give us some type of weed bill. Regulatory framework with cryptocurrency. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does you're gonna supporting a regulatory framework for cryptocurrency? What do you mean? I don't want to be a part of a government regulatory framework for cryptocurrency and other digital assets for Black men who invest and own these assets. Like, what does that even mean? These are word salads. Black men who are in the crypto business do not need any government assistance on how to maneuver their money. So now we're 0 for 2, providing 1 million loans that are fully forgivable to Black entrepreneurs and others to start a business. And others, Black entrepreneurs and others. That's the problem. We're not if you're going to do this for everybody, how are we going to get ahead if everybody has the same Mario Kart boost at the same time? See how that doesn't help the person behind? 20 million to others. Come on, dog. Like, what are we talking about, dog? That's how they slide in that new Fed coin. That's what I'm saying, bro. They think we're all potheads sitting up here playing with crypto. Even if there are niggas who smoke weed and play with crypto who got a PPP loan and finesse the government, we don't want your hand in the business. These aren't things that are helping niggas out. This isn't something Black men want. We don't want you to give me a loan that's super forgivable. No, give us a practical loan. Help us in the business. Yeah, that does make sense. But this is the problem. This providing 1 million in loans that are fully forgivable to Black entrepreneurs. That is beautiful. That is great. To start a business, I love that. This is the problem. The others. It's not the fact that I don't want other people to benefit or get programs to help them out. But we need programs specifically for Black Americans, just like they have an Asian crime bill, just like they have certain demographics that still get checks, like the Holocaust. They still get checks from that. You have people who still get checks for Hiroshima, Japanese Americans who still get government help and assistance and checks for that, reparations. You have Native Americans on reservations who own casinos who get their checks, their reparations for their atrocities that the American government has placed on the treaties that Americans went back on. So of course, they get things that we can't get in, that they exclude us from. But when you give us something, you make sure to include these same people that we're excluded from their benefits that got them ahead. So it's counterproductive. You don't need to agree to know what that means. Even 1 million loans, I don't give if it's a $1 million, $1 million loans. I don't give a fuck if it's 1 million loans. If there's 1 million loans, why don't you just have 1 million loans for Black Americans who want to start a business? Just give 1 million loans to Black business owners. So now you have 1 million Black business owners with loans. Instead of giving 1 million loans in general, that we will allocate some to the Black community, but we will allocate others to everything else. It does not make sense. Thank you. So they put Black business owners in debt. It's a great plan. I already have access to high interest business debt. Thank you. That's my point. Like get some more. Hold on. It's like you're rolling out these plans for people that can think or have a high enough IQs to understand and to read through these things. Number 2, championing education, training, and mentorship programs that help Black men get good paying jobs in high demand industries and lead their communities, including pathways to become teachers. What does that mean? Championing education, training, and mentorship programs. while that does sound very good and it does sound like something that we do need, but what the fuck have you been doing? And why are you rolling this out this late in the game? And what does that mean you're going to champion education? What does that mean? Thank you. Black Man Bang, thank you. Who the fuck said I want to be a teacher? You don't pay teachers. Teachers get paid lower than anybody. People at McDonald's make more than teachers. The fuck are you talking about? Thank you. Thank you. Champion black and people in finance and in STEM. You talking about we just gonna make you niggas teachers. High paying, good paying job. Black men to get not elite, not high level. You see, look. High demand industries, good paying jobs in high demand industries. You didn't say and lead their community. You didn't say help black men lead high demand industries with high paying wages. That's how you could have said that. Championing black men leading high demand industries in high paying positions of power and pathways to become owners and leaders in these industries. You see how I can take the same thing that's being said, reword it for it to sound like a tangible promise that has to be held to. Just by particular word placements, you can see the bullshit. And at number 4, launching a national health equity initiative focused on black men that addresses sickle cell disease, diabetes, mental health, prostate cancer, and other health challenges that disproportionately impact them. That sounds cool. But what the fuck does this mean? A national health equity initiative? Equity in my own health? What are we saying? That's what I'm saying. These teachers getting shot at, beat up, putting goddamn. I've been seeing the teachers square up with these YNs, these YSNs on YouTube and on a goddamn WorldStar and on Instagram all day. These teachers be gotten square up with these YNs, nigga. What you mean? I don't want to be no damn teacher. Gotta fight these YNSs and shit, these YSNs, nigga. Got me fucked up. God, what the hell? Thank you means nothing. Sounds like an insurance policy. What is a health equity initiative? Who has equity in my health? So is this the government admitting they have equity in the deterioration of my health with the following statements? Sickle cell, diabetes, mental health, prostate, and other challenges that disproportionately affects me. So now I get to have more equity in hopefully curtailing your equity in my health. And what do you mean, not a program initiative? What the fuck is an initiative? What are you initiating? Your equity on my health or on yours? I think I'm getting a little too excited right now. Take a deep breath. Because it's like I'm reading these things and I'm sitting here like, what are they saying to us? What are these what the fuck is this? When we vote, we win. I don't understand any of this shit. I understand it. I just don't understand why they think rolling this out less than 30 days before the election is going to change the minds of black men who have been ignored this whole election cycle until Barack Obama came and ran interference and sabotaged Kamala Harris. Because I'm gonna keep it a buck. Barack Obama never liked Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris. Thank you. Now we can. Thank you, David. Thank you, DZ Redline. Now we can invest in our own demise. Now they're giving us more equity to die. by our own health. You know what I'm saying? Your black ass is now dying. Thank you. Black McBain. Thank you. Because I wasn't understanding launching a national health equity initiative focused on black men that addresses sickle cell, diabetes, mental health, and prostate cancer and other health challenges that disproportionately impact me. I didn't know, but you just summed it up. Read between the lines. Health equity literally means your black ass dying is now publicly traded on the stock market. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for breaking that down for layman's terms. Okay. So, like I said before, you are rolling this stuff out last minute thinking that this is going to be the reason why we vote for you. And you have people like this on these godforsaken platforms. And to me, she doesn't know the type of damage she did on this misandrous platform called The View, on this round table, Mammy and Karen kumbaya session that happens every day for housewives and 600-pound women who are living off disability settlement checks. This show called The View.
But, you know, we can't poll people's hearts and we can't see into people's hearts. And so when we're looking at these polls and we're looking at who is voting for Trump, you've got 53% of white women that voted for him in 2020. We've got to reach those women. We've got to reach those ridiculous, crazy black men that did vote for Trump.
What? We got a what? We got a what?
Those ridiculous, crazy black men that did. Got to reach those ridiculous, crazy black men. We've got to reach those ridiculous, crazy black men that did vote for Trump. We've got to reach those people. We've got to reach the Cuban men in Miami that overwhelmingly voted for Trump. I don't know what their hearts look like, but I know what their votes look like. I've got to reach those ridiculous, crazy black men. I've got to reach those ridiculous, crazy black men. Reach those ridiculous, crazy black. Reach those ridiculous, crazy black men.
Ridiculous, crazy black men. Ridiculous, crazy black men who voted for Trump. Now, the white women were just called white women, right? The Cuban men were just called Cuban. Everybody was called their respective names, but the black men were called. You're the only melanated person up on there. It's this problem when you let everybody in the cookout. I don't know what Sonny's ethnicity is. I guess today she may be Hispanic. Some days she's black. Some days Sonny's black. Some days it's a black show. Other days she's Hispanic or she's color neutral. I guess today she's color neutral. These ridiculous, crazy black men. What the fuck, you mammy bitch? How dare you, mammy, fix yo greasy nigger lips to say this type of bullshit? And and if she's Cuban, come on, you cannot be talking about niggas like this, bro. And you know you like niggas.
Women that voted for him in 2020. We've got to reach those women. We've got to reach those ridiculous, crazy black men that did vote for Trump. We've got to reach those people. We've got to reach the Cuban men in Miami that overwhelmingly voted for Trump. I don't know what their hearts look like, but I know what their votes look like.
But I'm not talking, just, you know, I'm not speaking to people's hearts, and I am sunshine and rainbows, but
I'm pausing this before I play the rest because I want you black men, and when you sit up here and you and your auntie and your coworkers and your sisters and these people try to pressure you, remember that they are watching The View. They are sitting here listening to these narratives. They are viewing this and viewing you. Not all, but the Democratic Party, the way Obama came to talk to you, the way Kamala Harris is rolling out these stupid ass plans, the way this whatever race she wants to be today, Sonny, is calling us ridiculous, crazy black men. Understand that what you did this week and what you did this election cycle is shake up the Democratic Party and agenda to its core, that they are sitting out their shields to browbeat us, shame us in a desperation plea, because a lot of these coon ass niggas about to lose their jobs. A lot of these coon ass niggas not gonna be at the 4th of July cookout because if the Republicans win, Charlie Wilson and Beyonce gonna be performing on out there. You know what I'm saying? Charlie Kirk gonna be walking around the white. It's gonna be some real white shit going on again. And I'm not for it or against it because I'm a black man. And once again, what I got to remind you and everybody in here, they ain't got shit for us anyways, never had shit for us. We have been surviving policies that have been put in place to keep us down. So at the end of the day, both parties don't have shit for me. So don't think I'm sitting here caping for either or. I'm just reminding you and showing you that everything you think everybody who's melanated or, you know, she could be Kamala Harris's sister, right? She looks like somebody you would sit here and be like, oh, we should vote for her because she's black. You know, she looks black. Sonny's black. She can go for it. And this is how she talks to you.
Voted for him in 2020. We've got to reach those women. We've got to reach those ridiculous, crazy black men that did vote for Trump. We've got to reach those people. We've got to reach the Cuban men in Miami that overwhelmingly voted for Trump. I don't know what their hearts look like, but I know what their votes.
But I'm not
like.
talking. Just speaking to is when you resonate with someone's heart. Sunshine and rainbows. But I'm not Pollyanna in this world. What I'm speaking to is when you resonate with someone's heart, and Kamala has a good heart. Alyssa and I were speaking after she was here, and one thing Alyssa finished with is, regardless of how someone answers the questions or how they perform or how they navigate it, her empathy resonates. She is a good person at the end of the day. So what I'm saying is I do trust the good in humanity in how they vote. When you look at stop putting on black and white policy in paper. Like, what does this stand?
But, you know, we can't.
And I play these clips not to, like I said before, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I am just a black man, a black American man with a high enough political IQ to decipher the disinformation, decipher the narratives that have been going on this week, and to give my fellow viewers a timeline of what's happening with the Democratic Party. I don't know if their internal polling numbers have came back in the negative, but they are panicking. They are lashing out. They're getting very sassy with us. They are crashing out. They are really in full panic mode. And I just think that as black men, we had to understand that, so what, that we may be the villains right now. So what, certain people don't get their way with their agenda being passed with the sacrifice of us. So what, we didn't let people step on our backs to get to their next destination in life. So what? This is only the beginning of black men standing up for what we want. This is only the beginning of black men actually demanding tangible policies, not black men. Let me say this again. Salute D. Marley from Cali. This is the first for black people, because I want to really take the last few minutes of this show to really salute the black women too, who's been behind kicking Kamala Harris's back in for the cosplaying, for the bullshit, for the zero policies, for no, I'm not doing nothing for black people. No, I was listening to Tupac in '86, smoking weed, for locking up those black people in California, for not telling Gavin Newsom to pass the reparations bills that were trying to get passed in California over the summer. We've had enough. Black people as a collective aren't going to just vote for you because of your color, of your political party, or your skin. We're becoming more political savvy. We're understanding that we don't have anything to lose. And because we have nothing to lose, we have nothing to gain by you gaining. And if you have to be sacrificed for y'all to finally start looking at us as Black Americans, and for you guys to finally start giving us things that are going to benefit us to win our vote over, you're going to lose. And America will become an amalgamation of itself sooner than later. And at the end of the day, the reason why Black people will give no fucks is because we have survived regardless of the conditions in America, and we will continue to survive. So it's up to you people if you want to live in the homes you want to live in, if you want to live in the houses, if you want to eat where these places, if you want to do this. Black American, we're going to survive regardless. And if we're going to survive, I'm pretty sure those Black people coming from third world countries know how to survive. It's everybody else that's panicking. It's everybody else that's trying to figure out what's going on. It's everybody else reading numbers panicking. It's everybody else trying to find who to blame. Because we sitting back like, hey, if you ain't have nothing tangible in your policy for me, what was what's me not voting for you going to do for me anyways? And now we're seeing the last minute 5-point plan Kamala Harris rolling out as a result of, oh, now you know how to talk. We can give you something for your vote. Now you know how to negotiate to get a demographic. Now you know how to talk to get people. Now you understand. But guess what? It's too late. It's too late. You told us years ago you weren't going to do shit for black people. Now it's time to pay that tax. Now it's time to pay the fee. Your Black Person Day Pass is about to expire. We're not about to see Kamala Harris anymore. This is probably Barack Obama's last political run. You people have had the White House, 12 out of the last 16 years? Everything you want to put in place should have been in place already. Trump should have been spending more time dismantling. Like we're not sitting here with 4 years of Biden talking about things that we need to fight to keep because Biden and Harris gave us things, or Obama put things in place that we need to fight to keep. We're not talking about it. We're not having these discussions. Kamala Harris had to decide and vote to send us into the inflation that we're sitting in right now. Was she not on a campaign talking about that? So, bottom line is this. I don't want to keep you guys here all night. This was a awesome political episode of Perspectives and Facts podcast, episode 118. The numbers are good. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We will be sending this to Star in his community section. I would be cool to learn how to take a screenshot so I can, put this as a community section picture. But yeah, we're going to keep going live. We're going to keep doing shows. We have a lot. For me to be gone almost like a month or 2 months, the whole audience came back. Everybody who's usually in here is in here. Once I get my Twitter verification back up, then we're going to be having another like 100, 200, 300 people in here via Twitter. Salute everybody who's been watching me on Twitch. Thank you. First stream on Twitch. We're going to be getting that Rumble. I'm going to be dropping the link at the end of this episode. So everybody who's been watching us, please hit the link to the Rumble so I can start going live on Rumble also. So we're going to be live on Rumble, X, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you so much, guys. You guys have a great night. DZ Redline, I'm going to start back playing music on the regular. It's just, I'm saying, I'm in the second room. I'm really in the studio right now. So we're just getting a couple things set up. So I just, like I said, I appreciate everybody once and again. This was a political conversation surrounded about black men and their interests and how we have shaken the Democratic Party to their knees. In the last minute trick bags Kamala Harris is trying to throw out isn't working. The black political commentators and the media outlets are all on one accord, are all on code. We're saying as a united front that we are now telling you that Barack Obama's word and his credence means lesser now than ever. The Democrats are panicking, they're scrambling, and it's not because we want them to lose, it's because they have failed to address the needs of Black America in this recessive economic time, and we are putting our foot on their necks and we're not letting up. Salute to Black Authority, salute to Yvette Carnell, salute to Tariq Nasheed, salute to everybody, Melrose Radio up in there in New York, you know what I'm saying? Making sure you're keeping them tethers in line. Salute to all the black people in California trying to get those reparations passed. Salute to all the reparations task force that are being built in the reparations studies and the movement that are happening across the country in all 50 states. It's a slow process, but slow process is better than no process of progress. And once again, I'm gonna see you guys later on this week. Florida Boy J, Respect Fact Podcast. We out. Salute, man. Thank you guys.